Welcome friends in the next lecture on the complex numbers. In the previous lecture we have seen few examples based on the roots of the complex number. In today's lecture also we are going to see a very interesting problem of the same topic. So the question is, if alpha, beta, gamma and delta are the roots of equation x raised to 4 plus x cube plus x square plus x plus 1 equals to 0. Find them. I just changed the equation. X square x raised to 4 plus x cube plus x square plus x plus 1, okay, is equal to 0. Then if alpha, beta, gamma and delta are the roots of this equation, then find alpha, beta, gamma and delta. Means we have to calculate all four roots of this equation and show that this is one additional part in this problem. 1 minus alpha into 1 minus beta into 1 minus gamma into 1 minus delta is equal to 5. This we have to prove. Okay, now how to solve this example? See, x raised to 4 plus x cube plus x square plus 1x plus 1 equals to 0. In the previous lecture, the problems which we have seen, we follow the synthetic division so that we get a factorization of this polynomial and then we proceed further. But here, if we think of the coefficients are 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. X raised to 4 coefficient is 1, x cube coefficient is 1, x square coefficient is 1, then x coefficient is 1 and constant is 1. If I take addition of all of them, the sum is not a 0. If I take addition at alternate places, then first, third and fifth term sum is a 3, second and fourth term sum is 2. So this is also not equal. So the synthetic division is not directly possible with the help of standard rules, is it? So what to do? See one more thing. If I add something with it, means if I can I change this equation into some higher order equation by multiplying some factor of x? Then we see what will happen. See, if I multiply all these terms by x, then I'm getting x raised to 5, x raised to 4, x cube, x square and then x. See, if I multiplied with x, we get this x raised to 5 plus x raised to 4 plus x cube plus x square plus x. Okay. Now, if I multiply all these terms by minus 1, then I'm getting minus x raised to 4 minus x cube minus x square minus x minus 1. And if I go on adding them, then these terms are going to cancel. Okay, so what I'm getting there? X raised to 5 minus 1. That means I multiplied this polynomial by x and by minus 1. Hence what I do is I multiply this polynomial with a factor x minus 1. So when I multiply this factor by x minus 1, what I'm getting from this? X raised to 5 minus 1 equals to 0. X into this bracket minus 1 into this bracket. So ultimately the final resultant is x raised to 5 minus 1 equal to 0. Now see, this gives me x is equal to x raised to 5 is equal to 1. This gives me x is equal to 1 raised to 1 by 5. That is fifth root of unity we have to find out. Is it? So now the procedure is same as the fifth root of unity we are going to calculate. As we said in the previous, the 1 can be written in the form of cos 0 plus I sin 0 bracket raised to 1 by 5, and by using the standard rule of nth root, we get this is cos 2 pi k plus theta. Here theta is a 0, so we write only 2 pi k upon n, that is 5 here, plus I sin 2 pi k divided by 5. Is it? Now Here the n is at 5, therefore k will take the value 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, now for k equals to 0, our first value is say alpha naught. Okay. Okay, here I am taking, instead of alpha naught, I will call it as x naught. For k is equal to 0, what will happen? When k is 0, we get cos 0 plus I sin 0. Cos 0 plus I sin 0. So which gives me the 1 itself. Okay. Now see, look at these two this product of two brackets. From the first bracket I am getting root x is equal to 1. And from this we get 4 different roots. Is it? Now your x raised to 5 minus 1 equal to 0. This equation has how many roots? We expect 5 roots. Out of that, the one root is from this bracket, which is nothing but 1. And the remaining 4 roots which I am getting here for k 1, 2, 3 and 4 are nothing but the roots of this particular factor. I hope this idea is clear to everyone. Hence, I call this as 1. Then for k equals to 1, we get x1 is equal to cos of 2 pi into 1, that is cos 2 pi by 5 plus I sin 2 pi by 5. Okay, it's cos 2 pi by 5 plus I sin 2 pi by 5. So I call this as the first root, that is say alpha. Then for k is equal to 2. When k becomes 2, we get 2 to the 4 pi by 5. So hence we have x2 is equal to cos 4 pi by 5 plus I sin 4 pi by 5. We call this as a root beta. Next, for k equals to 3. For k is equal to 3, we call the root as a x3 is equal to cos. When I substitute k3 here, 3 to the 6. Hence we get 6 pi by 5 plus I sin 6 pi by 5. We call this root as a gamma. Okay. And the last one is k is equal to 4. For k is equal to 4, we have the x4, that is fourth root. x4 is equal to cos of 4 to the 8 pi by 5 plus I sin 8 pi by 5. I call this as a delta. Now still some of you are confused, sir, why you are calling these roots as alpha, beta, gamma and delta? Why we are not calling one as alpha, beta or any gamma or say delta? The reason is I am calculating the fifth root of unity. That means I am finding the roots of this equation. I am not calculating the roots of this equation. I am calculating roots of x raised to 5 minus 1 equal to 0. That is fifth root of unity. So I am getting here 5 roots, x0, x1, x2, x3 and x4. So these 5 roots I am getting. But out of these roots, this one, that is the root x0, is associated with this factor. See, the product of these two brackets is x raised to 5 minus 1. If I am going in the reverse direction, the factors of x raised to 5 minus 1 are x minus 1 into this bracket. Are you clear with this? So your factor gives you the roots for a particular equation. So there are two factors. So one of the factor is x minus 1, which leads to the root 1. Hence, the remaining 4 roots are nothing but the roots of this second bracket, which I am expected to calculate. Hence, I am calling these roots as a alpha, beta, gamma and delta. Okay. Now the order is depending on your choice. There is no need. Okay. Hence, as alpha, beta, gamma and delta are the roots of this equation. Therefore, one can write polynomial x raised to 4 plus x cube plus x square plus x plus 1 is equal to, we can write this polynomial in the form of x minus alpha into x minus beta into x minus gamma into x minus delta. That is factorization format. Or we have factorized this particular polynomial based on the 4 roots of it. Okay. So hence we are getting this one. Now put x is equal to 1 on both sides. Therefore we get 1 raised to 4, 1 cube plus 1 square plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 1 minus alpha into 1 minus beta into 1 minus gamma into 1 minus delta. So from here what I am getting? The addition of this is 5, which I am interested to prove. 1 minus alpha 1 minus beta into 1 minus gamma into 1 minus delta. Okay, so I hope you have clearly understood this particular example. The main reason, or say the main aim in this particular problems, see, we have seen the roots of the complex number as a first topic. Then we started with the roots of the equation, where we first seen the cube roots of unity, that is roots of x cube minus 1 is equal to 0 in a direct way. Next, what we have done, we have used this synthetic division for getting the roots of the equation. And in the today's lecture, what we have done, the synthetic division is not applicable. Hence, what we have done, we multiplied the given equation by some factor and taken that equation to the higher order equation. Okay, so here the original equation is of order 4, and after multiplying by x minus 1, we get a new equation of a higher order, that is x raised to 5 minus 1. So in all different ways, we can find out the roots of the equation. And think of this, whenever we get a root of a equation, if it is a complex root, then it always appears in a pair of conjugates. In the previous lecture, I have already discussed this point with an example. Okay, so this is all about your chapter of roots of the complex number. And with this lecture, our first module is over, but still I am interested to discuss few interesting examples. So I am just going to take one more lecture on the same module, and we would like to discuss some advanced, instead of advanced, I say interesting problems. Okay, so once that lecture is over, then our first module will be finished. Means from the teaching point of view, I have completed the first module. Whenever you feel a doubt, you can definitely ask, and whatever the homeworks I am giving to you, you just try to complete time to time. Thank you everyone.